All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Lalema Aneja Dang, and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates completed section of Kanpur Metro Rail and Bina Panki multi-product pipeline. Government notifies consumer protection rule. Direct selling companies cannot promote pyramid scheme. Schools and colleges closed in Delhi as government sounds yellow alert for COVID-19. Punjab makes double dose vaccination mandatory for entry into public places from January 15. Centre says election duty officials eligible for third dose of vaccine as frontline workers. WHO warns that Omicron could lead to overwhelmed healthcare system. Mastermind of Ludhiana court blast arrested in Germany. Rating agency ICRA says India's GDP expected to grow at 9% in current and next fiscal. India take first innings lead of 130 runs over South Africa in Centurion Test, and Mohammad Shami becomes fifth Indian pacer to take 200 Test wickets. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since 16th of August and will continue till the 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Recalling our yesterday's question, which great patriot considered as the father of the Indian school of modern chemistry said, "Science can wait, but Swaraj cannot"? The correct answer is Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray. He believed that the progress of India could be achieved only by industrialization. Prafulla Chandra set up the first chemical factory in India with very minimal resources, working from his home. In 1901, this pioneering effort resulted in the foundation of the Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Limited. Well, AIR News got an overwhelming response from its listeners across the world, and the one lucky winner of the quiz is Jose K. Thomas Tarial from Kullanada village in Pandalam, Kerala.
I have been associated with the All India Radio for the last 50 years. All our family members are regular listeners of Akashvani. I am glad that All India Radio has organized such a wonderful program, and I am selected as a winner. I am also the president of a village library, Puduvakal Gramina Vayanashala. I am very happy to state that our active members are also participating in this quiz competition. The enthusiastic efforts of the All India Radio are really highly commendable. I urge everybody, especially all the students, to participate in this mega quiz program. Big salute to all the freedom fighters. Jai Hind!
And the next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz shall be shared with listeners on Monday, the 3rd of January 2022. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in the Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to students and youth of the country to work for making an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Speaking at the 54th convocation ceremony of the Indian Institute of Technology in Kanpur yesterday, the Prime Minister urged students to have dreams, turn them into resolutions and achieve them. He said in the last 7 years, his government has taken several steps to achieve the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, and the students of IIT can play an important role in it.
हमारी IITs तो हमेशा टैलेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी की इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर रही है और IIT कानपुर की तो अपनी एक अलग रेपुटेशन रही है। आपने अपनी खुद की कंपनी एक्वाफ्रंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के जरिए बनारस के खिड़किया घाट पर दुनिया का जो पहला फ्लोटिंग CNG फिलिंग स्टेशन विकसित किया है वो बेहतरीन है। इसी तरह आपने एग्रीकल्चर के क्षेत्र में स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी विकसित की है, दुनिया की पहली पोर्टेबल सॉइल टेस्टिंग किट बनाई है। 5G टेक्नोलॉजी में तो IIT कानपुर का काम ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स का हिस्सा बन चुका है। ये संस्थान ऐसी अनेक सफलताओं के लिए बधाई का पात्र है।
During his visit to Kanpur, Mr. Modi also inaugurated the completed section of the metro rail project in the city. This section is 9 km long from IIT Kanpur to Moti Jheel. The Prime Minister inspected the Kanpur metro rail project and undertook a metro ride from IIT metro station to Geeta Nagar. The Prime Minister said the double-engine government of Uttar Pradesh yesterday is trying to make up for the loss of time in the past, and it is working at double speed. The entire length of the metro rail project in Kanpur is 32 kilometers and is being built at a cost of over 11,000 crore rupees. The Bina Panki multi-product pipeline project was also inaugurated by the Prime Minister yesterday. It is a 356-kilometer long project with a capacity of around 3.45 million metric tons per annum.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Haldwani in Uttarakhand tomorrow. Mr. Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of 23 projects worth over 17,500 crore rupees. Among the 23 projects, foundation stone will be laid for 17 projects worth over 14,100 crore rupees. These projects cover a wide array of sectors and areas across the state, including irrigation, road, housing, health, infrastructure, industry, sanitation and drinking water supply. The program will witness inauguration of 6 projects, including multiple road widening projects, a hydropower project in Pithoragarh, and projects to improve sewerage network in Nainital. The cumulative cost of the projects being inaugurated is over 3,400 crore rupees. The Centre has notified the Consumer Protection Direct Selling Rules 2021. These rules shall apply to all goods and services bought or sold through direct selling, all models of direct selling, all direct selling entities offering goods and services to consumers in India, all forms of unfair trade practices across all models of direct selling. These rules shall also apply to a direct selling entity which is not established in India but offers goods or services to consumers in India. Both direct selling entity and direct sellers are prohibited from promoting pyramid scheme or money circulation scheme. 653 cases of Omicron have been reported in the country so far. Out of the total Omicron cases, Maharashtra has reported 167 cases, followed by Delhi with 165, Kerala 57 cases, and Telangana 55 cases. The Union Health Ministry said, as of now, 186 people have recovered from the infection.
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 143 crore mark. Union Health Ministry said more than 57 lakh COVID vaccine doses were administered yesterday. Out of the total vaccination, more than 83 crore 97 lakh vaccine doses have been given as the first dose, while over 59 crore 10 lakh doses have been administered as the second dose. Centre has issued a fresh directive to states and union territories to treat persons on election duty in poll-bound states as frontline workers eligible for precaution dose. The move to administer boosters comes amid concern over the highly transmissible variant Omicron. Health Ministry said doctor's certificate or prescription is not required to establish comorbidity among 60-plus persons. Medical professionals, frontline health staff and senior citizens with comorbidities can take the booster dose from January the 10th.
The Union Health Ministry has said that potential beneficiaries for getting the COVID jabs can register themselves on the CoWIN portal from the 1st of next month. It said beneficiaries can also avail the walk-in registration facility. As announced by the Prime Minister, Recently, the vaccination for the age group of 15 to 18 years is scheduled to begin from the 3rd of next month. Administration of the precautionary third dose for the vulnerable categories will commence from the 10th of next month.
In view of the rising COVID-19 cases, schools, colleges, cinema halls, spas, gyms, multiplexes, banquet halls, auditoriums and sports complexes have been closed in the national capital with immediate effect. Night curfew has been imposed in the city from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Restrictions have been put in place as a yellow alert has been sounded in Delhi under the Graded Response Action Plan. As per the Delhi Disaster Management Authority order, the Delhi Metro and buses will operate at 50% seating capacity with no standing passengers. Restaurants are allowed 50% seating capacity from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and bars are allowed with 50% seating capacity from 12 noon to 10 p.m. Political, religious and festival gatherings have been banned. A maximum of 20 persons can attend funerals and weddings. In its order, the DDMA said weddings can only be done at home. Shops in malls will operate on an odd-even basis in the city. Religious places will be open, but no visitors will be allowed. Only walking, running and playing are allowed in public parks and gardens and not picnics. Punjab government has announced that people who have not received both doses of COVID-19 vaccine will not be allowed to enter public places in the state from January 15. In a fresh order, the state government said that all those who have not yet taken both the doses of COVID vaccination should remain at their residences and should not visit any of the public places, markets, functions, public transport and religious places.
The WHO has warned that the Omicron variant could lead to overwhelmed healthcare systems. WHO has warned against complacency even though preliminary findings suggest that Omicron could lead to milder disease. The surges in many countries have been propelled by the highly transmissible Omicron variant. WHO said a rapid growth of Omicron could result in large numbers of hospitalizations, particularly amongst unvaccinated groups, and cause widespread disruption to health systems and other critical services. Some 11,500 flights have been scrapped worldwide since Friday, and tens of thousands more delayed during one of the year's busiest travel periods. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates completed section of Kanpur Metro Rail and Bina Panki multi-product pipeline. Government notifies consumer protection rule. Direct selling companies cannot promote pyramid scheme. Schools and colleges closed in Delhi as government sounds yellow alert for COVID-19. Punjab makes double dose vaccination mandatory for entry into public places from January 15. Centre says election duty officials eligible for third dose of vaccine as frontline workers. WHO warns that Omicron could lead to overwhelmed healthcare system. Mastermind of Ludhiana court blast arrested in Germany. Rating agency ICRA says India's GDP expected to grow at 9% in current and next fiscal. India takes first innings lead of 130 runs over South Africa in Centurion Test. And Mohammad Shami becomes fifth Indian pacer to take 200 Test wickets. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The mastermind of December 23rd Ludhiana court blast has been arrested in Germany. German police arrested Jaswinder Singh Multani from Erfurt city for his role in the Ludhiana blast in Punjab and planning more terror attacks in Mumbai, Delhi and other Indian cities. The arrest of Multani, an activist of the ISI-backed Khalisani outfit, Sikh for Justice, happened on the basis of precise intelligence provided by Indian agencies. The arrested terrorist had drawn plan to carry out a bigger terror strike in Mumbai. He is currently in German custody and will be questioned by Indian investigators.
The News Services Division of All India Radio presents 2021, the year that was. Let us take a look at the notable events and developments in the year. From politics to sports, business to global affairs, what made headlines in the year gone by? To know more, join us on 30th December on FM Gold Channel 100.1 MHz and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
The News Services Division brings you glimpses of the year 2021 in its special year-ender series, The Year That Was. Today we take a look at Shramameva Jayate, streamlining policies for labour welfare. The Union government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has taken various steps for the welfare of labourers. COVID-19 pandemic has affected all sections of society, including organised and unorganised workers this year during the second wave of pandemic. Government is providing a fiscal stimulus worth more than 27 lakh crore rupees as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat financial package. Our correspondent takes a look at the initiatives launched by the Union government for the welfare of labour.
Several flagship schemes were initiated by the centre to provide relief to the labourers and workers during the COVID pandemic. The steps taken by the government for the welfare of labourers have ensured their well-being and also increased their income. The Labour and Employment Ministry launched e-Shram portal this year to create a national database of unorganised workers. So far, more than 10 crore unorganised workers registered on e-Shram portal. Government is also running Prime Minister Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme to provide working capital loans to street vendors. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is also proving to be a milestone in the direction of ensuring employment by promoting self-employment. Under this scheme, collateral-free loans up to 10 lakh rupees are being provided to micro and small business enterprises. Flagship programs of the government like Make in India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat Mission, Smart City Mission, Amrut and Production Link Incentive Scheme have the potential to generate productive and sustainable employment opportunity in the country. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, New Delhi.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
Janani, Janani, Janma Bhumisha, Janma Bhumisha, Surgadapi, Surgadapi, Gariyasi, Gariyasi.
In today's episode, we remember one of the earliest moderate leaders, Umesh Chandra Banerjee, who was born on December the 29th, 1844. He was the co-founder and the first president of the Indian National Congress.
Banerjee won a government scholarship to study law in England and was called to the bar in June 1867. In England, he founded the London Indian Society and advocated representative and responsible government in India. He returned to Calcutta in 1868 and, within a few years, became the most sought-after barrister in the High Court.
In 1883, he defended Surendranath Banerjee in contempt of court case against him in the Calcutta High Court. Umesh presided over the first session of Congress in 1885. In the 1886 session held at Calcutta, under the presidency of Dadabhai Naoroji, he proposed the formation of standing committees of the Congress in each province for better coordination of its work, and it was on this occasion that he advocated that the Congress should confine its activities to political matters only, leaving the question of social reforms to other organizations.
He was the president of the Indian National Congress again in the 1892 session in Allahabad. We pay tribute to this great leader.
We also remember revolutionary freedom fighter Bhupendra Kumar Datta, who died on the 29th of December 1979. A prominent Jugantar leader, he went on hunger strike for 78 days in Bilaspur jail in December 1917, which was till that time the longest ever period of hunger strike in any country.
Born on the 8th of October 1892 in the village Thakurpur in Jessore, now in Bangladesh, Datta got inspired by the anti-partition agitations of the Anushilan Samiti and joined the organization. In September 1915, after the death of Bagha Jatin, massive repression and imprisonment prevailed in India.
Bhupendra Kumar Datta was arrested on the 17th of May 1917. In jail, Jiten Lahiri and Bhupendra Kumar Datta went on a protest against the imprisonment of freedom fighters without habeas corpus and against the physical and moral torture meted out inside the prisons. They published an 8-page long appeal which was sent across to many important personalities to inform the country about the decision of a hunger strike.
Bhupen was later transferred to Bilaspur jail, where he continued his hunger strike for 78 days. He was released in 1920.
Arrested again on the 23rd of September 1923, Bhupen was deported to Mandalay in Burma, where Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was also imprisoned soon after. Netaji presented him the book Memories of a Revolutionist that he had smuggled for Bhupen during his last trip to Europe.
After his release in 1928, Bhupen resumed his usual multifarious role of maintaining contacts with various Jugantar leaders, editing the journals, collecting arms and distributing them. He was jailed again for 8 years in 1930 for sheltering the absconding revolutionaries of the Chittagong Armory raid. He edited the weekly newspaper Forward and was again detained in 1941 for 5 years.
Bhupen stayed back in East Pakistan after partition to rescue victims of communal riots and was even elected Member of Parliament. He supported a motion to make Bengali the official language of Pakistan in the Pakistan Constituent Assembly in 1948.
Bhupen came back to India in 1962 and devoted his time to the nation. We salute the great freedom fighter.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. Credit rating agency ICRA has said that India's GDP is likely to maintain a 9% growth rate in fiscal 2022 and 2023 amid concerns over the Omicron variant of COVID-19. The country's economy grew at 8.4% in the second quarter of the current fiscal, as against growth of 20.1% in the April-June quarter. ICRA's chief economist Aditi Nair expects the expansion in fiscal 2023 to be more meaningful and tangible than the base effect-led rise in 2022 fiscal. The full Election Commission led by Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra will hold meeting with Uttar Pradesh DGP, State Home Ministry and expenditure officials in Lucknow today to take stock of preparations for assembly elections. The ECI team yesterday interacted with the representatives of various political parties. The team arrived in Lucknow yesterday on a 3-day visit to the state to take stock of preparations for assembly elections.
In the first cricket test, India will resume their second innings against South Africa at the overnight score of 16 for 1 in Centurion today. Earlier yesterday, India bowled out South Africa for 197 runs to take a 130-run first innings lead. The score so far India 327 all out and 16 for 1, and South Africa 197 all out. Mohammad Shami has established himself among the greats of Indian cricket by becoming only the 5th Indian pacer to take 200 test wickets. Shami achieved the feat on day 3rd of the first India-South Africa test match in Centurion. Shami has joined Kapil Dev, Javgal Srinath, Zahir Khan and Ishant Sharma in the elusive list. Shami reached the milestone in 55 test matches and is the 3rd quickest Indian after Kapil and Srinath to join the list. Shami took a 5-wicket haul at the Super Sport Park to reach 200 test wickets. Shami's exceptional bowling effort helped India bowl South Africa out for a score of 197 in the first innings. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar and Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Leh is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will hover between -13 and -3 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between -5 and 11 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have sunny sky. The minimum temperature was -1 degree Celsius and maximum will be around 15 degrees. The national capital, Delhi, will have moderate fog. Minimum temperature was 8 degrees Celsius and maximum should be around 20. In Mumbai, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius while maximum should be around 31. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will vary between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will also have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Bengaluru will have fog or mist in morning and mainly clear sky later. The temperatures will hover between 16 and 28 degrees Celsius. Guwahati will have mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The minimum temperature was around 9 degrees Celsius while maximum should be around 26.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Capital sounds yellow alert, adds more curb, says the Hindustan Times. Delhi's daily tally climbs to 496. Positivity rate leads towards 1%, it says. Bank NPAs eased to nearly 6-year low. Credit growth signs of recovery, says RBI, reports in the Business Standard headline. The pioneer reports of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh unveiling 27 roads and bridges, including one at a height of 19,000 feet in Ladakh. This would be world's highest motorable road. World-renowned 200-year-old Pune's Deccan College has lakhs of samples of excavations lying around for want of space and friends, reports Indian Express. And finally, Desi clothes to help Jawans beat -20 degrees Celsius is a pioneer headline. Thanks to technology by DRDO, our Jawans will wear made-in-India clothes in extreme cold climate instead of imported ones.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates completed section of Kanpur Metro Rail and Bina Panki multi-product pipeline. Government notifies consumer protection rule. Direct selling companies cannot promote pyramid scheme. Schools and colleges closed in Delhi as government sounds yellow alert for COVID-19. Punjab makes double dose vaccination mandatory for entry into public places from January 15. Centre says election duty officials eligible for the 3rd dose of vaccine as frontline workers. WHO warns that Omicron could lead to overwhelmed healthcare system. Mastermind of Ludhiana court blast arrested in Germany. Rating agency ICRA says India's GDP expected to grow at 9% in current and next fiscal. India take first innings lead of 130 runs over South Africa in Centurion Test. And Mohammad Shami becomes 5th Indian pacer to take 200 test wickets. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.